Hi guys, I hope you're doing great. Today we're gonna talk about webtoons. What makes them so popular? Why are they so trendy? Etc. And I will also give you 5 new webtoons. Well, not new, but 5 webtoons I haven't talked about yet that you could read. I will also put in the little I the video I already made about webtoons I suggest you reading. And yeah, let's just get started. Okay, maybe before talking too much about webtoons, I should explain you what's a webtoon, right? And basically a webtoon is a new form of comic reading, which is a digital way of reading comics, which is made for easy consumption on your smartphone, tablet or computer. It's mostly made for smartphones, so you can read them, for example, in the subway, but you can still read them on a computer with no problem at all. With webtoon, you will consume your comics in a different way, because rather than having a books that has to stop at one point and then you have to buy another books, you can basically almost infinitely scroll into the webtoons and just keep reading until you are done. Webtoons originally comes from Korea, South Korea obviously, and one of the most famous webtoon app is basically the app named Webtoon, which was created in 2004 by Naver. Naver is like a huge company in Korea. They also have like other products, so they have Webtoon, but you might also know Line, which is also from Naver. And since around 2019, Webtoon is not only available in Korean and English, but also in French. I'm talking about this as I'm a French person and I used to read my Webtoons in French. The only reason I stopped reading my Webtoon in French is because the translation takes more time, which makes sense actually. Translate it into English first and then into other languages. Some Webtoons are basically now even just made in English as the main and first language, depending on who creates the Webtoon. Something you may also want to know is that Webtoons can be posted by everyone and anyone on the app. You just need an account and you can ask to become a creator and to share your Webtoon in it. So I already told you about Webtoons as a scrollable type of comics, which makes it already quite a big change. But if you are like me and you read mangas, you might also sometimes read like the upcoming chapters on your phone, so it might not change you that much as it kind of look alike. But if you are not someone that's used to read on cell phone for your comics at least, Webtoon is a kind of new way for you to discover or rediscover some comics. Something else to notice about Webtoons is that even if it's comics, it's not like US comics where you can like see kind of one genre of comics with like superhero and things like this. Webtoons are actually way more diverse and you will have quite everything possible. Whether it's gonna be romance, fantasy, fiction, even horror, you will find some webtoons that match this type of genre, and you will find a webtoon to read that fits this genre. And actually webtoons have gone beyond the digital vibe and realm. Some of them have been made into actual books. Some of them have been made into series such as Korean drama or even a lot of Netflix series. For example, one of the most famous one, which is called Law Olympus, has been turned into a book, which is translated at least into French and English. I don't know for any other languages, but I'm quite sure for these two ones. We also have True Beauty, which is technically a webtoon but has been made into a K-drama, and I think it's also a Netflix show. I think it got sponsored by Netflix. I'm not completely sure about this. It goes way further than this, and also some people actually met by discussing and exchanging about these webtoons, so it kind of goes just beyond reading comics and to people exchanging, becoming friends, meeting each other. Even in convention, you will start to see people talking about this or selling freebies, artists drawing other characters, extra. Webtoons, which are technically a digital comics just for everyone to enjoy on their own side, in their bed or whatever, has become also something real. And now, just basically to finish this video, I'm gonna give you 5 webtoons that I read and that you might also like. So disclaimer, if you are not an open-minded person, you might not like 4 of them. Because one is an heterosexual relationship, the other 4 ones are boy love. Something else is that I will put on the screen as much as I can one of the picture of the webtoon, so you can recognize it from the app, and I will also put the link in the description down below, so you can basically find it in a way that's quite easy for you. Even if you don't have the app, you can just open the page. So the first one, which is actually the only one that's finished, it's called My Ghost, and I'm gonna read from what I have on my screen, tiny bit introduction of what it is. So it's basically a story of a ghost that doesn't want to disappear from the world he was living in before, and basically nobody knows they're here, nobody knows that they exist, even if they're dead and in that world. And there is that girl named Yuri that just moved into a new apartment, and in this apartment there is a young guy, student, that died here 3 years ago, and his ghost is still living here. And sadly, Yuri can see ghosts and she can talk to them. And so basically she knows that she's living with a ghost, and you go with the story to know what's going to happen and everything like that. So it's quite like romance, it's mostly romance, but it's also that type of fantasy and fiction. So yeah, that's the first one. It's a complete one, so you can actually read it from beginning to the end with no problem. For sure it's done in English. I don't have any idea about the French translation, I didn't check on it, but yeah, I will talk about English version for the 5 webtoons I would suggest you. The second webtoon is still ongoing, and it's the first boy love, and it's called To the Stars and Back. It's the story of an introverted and quite grumpy 20-year-old guy named Kande that spends most of his time alone, and he likes that alone time. And one day he meets a really friendly and like bubbly and like super extroverted and happy neighbor named Osmo, and everything's changed. Basically starting that moment, everything's changed. So this webtoon is basically the story of the 2 guys getting to talk to each other extra. Third webtoon is also ongoing. It's also quite like a boy love. I'm not updated on it, but from how it's looking like, I'm gonna say it's a boy love, and it's called Bailing and Leon. So it's about a doctor, so Leon, going to do research into the Arctic, and then he just basically meets a strange, non-human injured creator, which is Bailing, a scientist meeting something that nobody has seen before. It's technically amazing, but Bailing, so the mystical creator, is a bit hard to handle, and yeah, a lot of things are going to happen from it. The 4th one is called Ineffable. It's also an ongoing one, it's also a boy love one, and there is multiple actually webtoons with the same name, so here the image is really important, or the link will help you a lot. And a young guy named Kamden that goes to sign a modeling contract, and it's actually a trap, and he got trapped by this contract, and he goes to A+A agency to seek help from like this stuff going on and how he's been trapped. And yeah, that's just a story of how everything is going on in his life since he signed this contract. The last one, and it's one of the most famous one, also ongoing one, it's called Heartstopper. So you might not see, but like right over here is the first one of Heartstopper. So as I told you, some of them were published as book, which is the case for this one. Also became a Netflix series, the story of Charlie, who is really highly and openly gay and is a bit way too much of an overthinker, and Nick, who is a cheerful and like really soft marshmallow guy, who is also a rugby player, where these 2 guys meet in a school, in a British all-boys school, and they become friends really fast. but then there might be something more going on, extra. So yeah, it's just basically the story of two guys meeting in a school, one who already knows he is gay, the other one who is making rugby, but he's like really soft and squishy. You cannot hate him, and it doesn't look like this stereotype of the rugby players. It's like most people could draw as a character. And basically it's a friendship that might have been something more. And basically that's it for the 5 webtoon I wanted to suggest you on this video. If you want more webtoon suggestion, or if you have webtoon suggestion of stuff that I might like, considering that I like almost everything webtoon wise, just put them in the comment down below. Tell me if you read these webtoons, if you like them, if you plan to read them, if you are using another app, because I know there is like multiple apps for webtoon. If it's not already the case, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and activate the little bell. Give also a thumbs up to this video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on Thread, which is basically the same thing. And I will see you soon in another video. Bye.